Hey y'all, it's Georgia, and today we're going to talk about what it was like finding out that I was pregnant at 19 when COVID had just began to hit Florida. So I was working at Applebee's, and it was like a really hard time. I started to notice that my breasts hurt really bad, and I had to pee like every 5 seconds, and I was a server at this time, and I would just run to the bathroom because I always had to pee, and I could never figure out why I had to pee so bad. I kept asking everybody, and I had made jokes about being pregnant, but they were always jokes. Like, I always knew I was going to be a mother, but I didn't want to like be a mother until like 25, but you know, things happen. And people were telling me, you're pregnant, and I was like, no, I'm not pregnant. And a couple weeks go by, and I decided to leave the job because of some really disrespectful things that were going on, and some people not being able to keep their hands to themselves, and things not being done the way they needed to be done about the situation. So I left, and I was going to get a job at a restaurant that one of my friends worked at. And it fell through because of COVID and the start of COVID. So that very next day, I had woken up in the morning, and I hadn't told my mom I had quit yet, but I started throwing up, and it was about 5 a.m. to 5:30 in the morning. I started throwing up. I couldn't figure out what was wrong. And I had pregnancy tests in my room because I feel like if you're a woman, especially if you're sexually active, even if you're on birth control and using protection, you should always have a pregnancy test on you because accidents do happen. I've always done that, and I've always had a pregnancy test on me in case I or a friend ever needed one. There were a few times where a friend gave one to me, or I gave one to a friend, you know, just girls being there for girls. So I went into the place where I kept mine, and I looked inside the drawer, and I was missing a pregnancy test. And I knew that I had never taken the pregnancy test because why would the pregnancy test be gone if I didn't take the test? So I went to my mom, and I was like, hey, I'm missing a pregnancy test out of my drawer. I didn't use it, but it's not there. And she was like, Georgia, are you pregnant? I was like, no, I'm not pregnant, but I'm missing a pregnancy test. She was like, well, your sisters wouldn't take your pregnancy test, so I don't know where it went. To this day, we still have no idea what happened to that pregnancy test. So the next morning, I wake up again, and that day I'm going home. I'm going to see Chad when he gets off work. So I go, and I throw up like instantly when I wake up in the morning, and my mom hears me again, and then she goes, Georgia, are you pregnant? And I was like, no, I can't be pregnant, I'm on birth control. So Chad comes and picks me up, and we go to the store because COVID is happening, so we had to go get groceries and stockpile like everybody else was doing. And I said, can we just pick up a pregnancy test? And he was like, yeah, that's probably the best thing to do. So we went, and I think we went into a gas station, and I went and grabbed those. Yeah, we went to 7-Eleven, and I grabbed those like pink, like first response pregnancy tests that they have there. And we went straight back to his house. I put his groceries away and kept my groceries for my house in the car. And he went to go play his video games, and I went in the bathroom. I was like pacing left and right. I was like, please, please, no. Like, I can't handle this. I can't handle my mom. I can't, like, it was me telling myself, like, I'm not in a position to be pregnant right now. And with COVID happening, this is not a time, a place, or a want of mine. So I go and I pee on the stick, and instantly it's a positive. Like, it is a positive. And I was like, crap. So I start crying, and then I pull myself together because Chad's mom is still in the house, and I didn't want to give it away. So I put the pregnancy test into my purse, and I walk back into the bedroom. And I say, Chad, we need to go outside and talk. And he had a little man cave at his parents' house. I was outside. So we went and sat, and I started crying again. And I was like, I'm pregnant. And I handed him the stick, and he was like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, I did this. I'm so sorry. And I was like, it's not your fault. It takes 2 people to make a baby. So he was, for a couple days, he was very quiet, very distant, very in shock that I was pregnant. And we argued a little bit back and forth, but it wasn't like arguing like one of us were gonna back out of being around the kid. It was more like we're both just frustrated. We don't know how to tell people. We know that what people are gonna say, and we weren't prepared for people's reactions. But I knew that I had to tell somebody, because obviously I was throwing up every morning and my tummy would get bigger, and I didn't know how far along I was. And because I'm young and I didn't know that I was pregnant, I was drinking. So I did go, and my mom's friend was at the house, and she helped raise me, and because my biological father was never in the picture. So I went to her, I started crying, and I said, I'm pregnant. And she started freaking out and was like, oh my gosh. And I was like, I need you to help me tell my mom. And my mom already knew, like, the throwing up and everything, she already knew. She was just waiting for me to be honest, even though I didn't know if I was pregnant or not. So when my mom had came out, and I was in the room, and I was in my bedroom with Chad crying, and he was trying to comfort me and just be there for me and tell me that he loves me and that it's gonna be okay. My mom just went to Casey and said, is she pregnant? And Casey said, yeah. So when we went and we sat back outside, I talked to my parents, and at first they were a lot more chill than I was expecting, and they were just like, it's not impossible, it's hard, what's your plan? And then Chad looked them in their face and was like, I'll prove you wrong about everything, every doubt they had about him not sticking around. Like, he was just like, I will prove you wrong. So a couple of days go by, my parents are not talking to me, things are very hostile in the house, and little side comments are being thrown here and there that are really starting to make me mad. I'm hormonal, I'm pregnant, and my mom takes me to the doctor the next day. When I go to the doctor, I find out that I'm 6 weeks along, and that the baby has a heartbeat. So I got to hear that, and I was crying, I was emotional. Me and my mom got into a yelling argument in the car because she did not want me to be pregnant. She wanted other things for me in life, and I had already beat myself up before I had told her that I was pregnant, so I was done beating myself up, because there's no more time for crying. It's time to be a big girl and get ready to be a mom, because I knew I wasn't going to do adoption, and I knew I wasn't going to do abortion, because for me, abortion is not an answer. I'm pro-choice for everyone. My choice is to keep my baby and to never have an abortion no matter what. So after that happened, we got home. I decided to go stay with my sister for a couple days because things were very hostile in the house, and I just couldn't take it with my hormones, and my parents were being very rude, which I understand that they were going through emotions too. They wanted different things. They didn't want to be grandparents yet. So, ooh, excuse me, that's a baby. So I was gone for about 5 days, and while I was gone for 5 days, I had family members calling me, and saying abortion, adoption, what happens if my child comes out with disabilities, and just like a lot of things that really upset me. And I would just kept hanging up on people left and right. I was like, I'm not having it. I'm not giving my baby away. I'm not having an abortion. I was like, if you can't get behind me and support me and just tell me I can do it and be here for me, then get out of my life. That was my whole mindset. And so I finally went home. I got on Medicaid for health insurance and started going to the doctor and taking care of my pregnancy. And me and Chad started to work on ways to save money to move out. At first, we were going to move out with my sister and her fiance, but we are going to be a family. We do not want anybody else living with us, and we just want to raise our baby, be a family, and save up to buy a home. So that is the plan for right now. But we decided to not go with my sister and my soon-to-be brother-in-law, and we moved into this place. Being pregnant at the time COVID happened, I couldn't find a job. Nobody would hire me. Nobody would hire me knowing I was pregnant. Nobody would hire me, and I was a server, so when I am giving birth is when season starts in Florida. So when everyone comes down to Florida and vacations and when we make our most money, I wouldn't be able to work. So no restaurant is going to hire me because of that. Also, COVID has most restaurants shut down at this time. So it was very hard to find a job, and I turned towards TikTok and dancing and talking to people and reassuring other women and just being myself and being confident and being the best me that I could possibly be, because it was the only thing I had to cope. And I did everything I possibly could because I was so stressed out about COVID and the risks, and hearing that I could lose my baby and that COVID could kill me and my baby, because being pregnant, I have a compromised immune system now. So it was very hard for me, and it was very scary, but I prayed a lot, and I begged God. I begged for him to just hear me, listen to me, walk with me, help me see the directions that I need to go. And not everybody is religious, and that is perfectly fine. Whatever your religion is, I respect it. Whatever works for you, but I believe in my Savior, Lord and Jesus Christ. I believe in both. I'm not too well known on every other religion. I remember some stuff from like high school, stuff that I learned. I do want to look more into it so that I can make sure that I'm respecting everybody once it comes to religion, because I feel like that's important for everybody to know. But I am a Christian, and I believe in love for everybody, and I feel like it was when I finally turned to God and I dropped everything and I begged for him to just hear me, for him to touch me, for him to just show me the way, is when things started to honestly get better. I started to not have these lash outs anymore where I was screaming and yelling because I was so tired of people's ignorance and their side comments and their jabs at me for being a teen mom. And I eventually, before I knew it, I had a second car, and then I had an apartment, and now I have these amazing people on TikTok who I get to interact with and talk to, and then they add me on Snapchat, and then I got to talk to some of the women that way. And it's COVID, and being pregnant was hard, but I wouldn't have done it any other way, because it pushed me and it pushed Chad to be something that we didn't know we could be, and to work hard and to prove once again that no matter how hard things get, we'll always be there for each other and for our family. And from the day we met, we just linked, and we never separated after that. And any hard thing that we had gone through, we had done together. So that's my story. That's how my parents reacted. That's what it was like finding out that I was pregnant when COVID was starting. And where I'm at now is in my very own home, where I can raise my baby and I can live my life and be a good mother and focus on sharing my message with a lot of women out there who may feel lost, who may not have it as easy. And I just want people to know that if you are going through hell, keep on moving. Keep moving, whatever it is. Keep pushing through, keep pursuing, keep telling yourself you can do it, because you lose 100% of the chances you don't take. You lose them. So I just take this as a way of me saying to go for it, do it, be that thing that you want to be that person. Whatever it is that you're reaching for so hard in your life right now, reach for it, grab it, and take it, because you can do it. And I promise you can do it. And it doesn't matter what anybody else says. And don't doubt yourself, because I promise you, there are 100 people behind you doubting you. They're doing it for you, and you don't need to doubt yourself. I used people's doubt on whether or not I could do this, and I could be in my own place by the time my daughter came, I used that to fuel me. And I did it. And I'm here. So, it's just a little food for thought. And I hope you guys have a good day. There's more videos to come. And stay tuned. Thank you guys so much.